off with my hair. I obviously already curled it, but I'm not using a wide barrel. I'm going to use the skinniest barrel I have available, switching that up on my Numi wand, and obviously already curled it. I wanted to do thin curls so that it's easy to tease when the time comes, because I will not be wearing a wig. For this look, to create the mouth, I am going to create it with the liquid latex and cotton. Go ahead and pour yourself some liquid latex while you do a few other things. That way it starts thickening just a tad bit. Using this black crayon, I'm going to outline the area of where I want to create my textured mouth. And it kind of looks like a little mustache, but you know, it's just an outline so that I can guide the latex and the cotton that I will be applying. Using the black cream shade in this palette, I'm just going to start filling in the mouth area. This will make it easy because it'll already be pre-darkened and it'll just be easy to work with instead of adding color later on. However, this is kind of a greasy paint, so I would suggest setting it. I didn't do that, but I'm letting you guys know you guys should. Now I'm unrolling some cotton and just tearing it into tiny long pieces because I'm going to use them with the liquid latex. As you can see here, I'm starting to lay that down. And then I'm just going to add the cotton in little strands going down. This is going to help me create all of the stringy looking nasty skin that's going to be attached onto my face. You're going to be just applying it. It's just going to look like a mustache at the beginning, but at the end, your whole mouth area is going to be covered in this cotton and latex. Just continue working the cotton all the way to the end to the point because again, you're creating a full-on mouth. What I like about this is that it really does stay on, unlike a mask from the store, because it really connects to your skin and it's just, you know, comfortable instead of you having to adjust a mask from the store. Once you have all the cotton laid down, go ahead and go over that cotton with the liquid latex. You want to kind of soak it so that you can start maneuvering the cotton into the, you know, strandy type of looking skin that you're gonna have. That way you can just mold it however you want, really. That's the word. You're gonna mold it with the liquid latex and the cotton. So you can see here, I'm just making sure that everything is nice and clean on the edges because I want my mouth to be, you know, semi-perfect, although it's gonna be kind of gross at the end. Make sure that you kind of open your mouth just a tad bit and close it just so that you can stretch out the cotton. It's very important because if you're going to be wearing this out for a long period of time, you want it to be comfortable when you are speaking. However, I don't suggest that you wear this look to a party where there's going to be food because obviously you're not going to be able to eat. However, you can drink a lot of alcohol because you can always use a straw. Anyways, the little Elkie in me just came out. But now as you can see here, I'm just starting to section off pieces of the cotton, creating those nice little threads, and you can see my skin underneath. How you can see my skin, you can kind of see that my skin is showing, but the grease paint is kind of separating. That's why I said you guys should set it. I'm actually going to have to go back in with some more paint and fill it in, just to darken in that area. You can also use a color red. It all depends on what color you'll be using on the actual skin. But as you can see, just go ahead and work in sections. Obviously, I'm speeding the process up for this tutorial. It is quite time consuming, but the end result is freaking amazing. You can always add more cotton to make it a little bit more thicker and give it just more texture. Here I am adding a little bit more cotton because I felt like the opening in the front was a little bit too much. But yeah, that is what I am doing. You want to make sure that this dries before you apply any type of paint over it. Just work with the mouth area until you are satisfied as to the shape that it takes. Continue adding liquid latex so you have multiple layers and it dries quite hard. Once you've had all of that done, I'm going to go in with this body paint and I'm just going to use this brush and start filling in the areas where I lost a little bit of the darkness. I also like that it did create a little bit more darkness and it actually set better than the grease paint. But again, it's because I didn't set it with a powder. So I think this one is a really good one to use because it dries quite nicely. Once everything's dry, I'm going to use a foundation just to start coloring in a little bit of the cotton and latex. I am going to be setting this once it's all put on my skin. What I'm doing is I'm adding this because I feel like the cream paints will stick to the liquid latex and cotton better than it would if I didn't. Plus it adds a little bit more color and more of a base and not something too white where the colors will look a little bit too bright. Once I've gone ahead and mixed everything in, I will be setting it. I'm just using this air spun powder because it has a little bit of color, and as you can see, it'll just set and mattify everything and prep it for color paints. Before I use that white paint I just showed you, I'm going to actually glue down my brow hairs because I want everything to look very, very smooth. This glue is just really going to set my brows. It's going to dry up and it's just going to make it seem like I don't have brows. Once I've gone ahead and done that, I'm going to use the triangular sponge that came with the cream paint, which is this paint right here, and I'm just going to smooth that and pat it onto my face as if it were kind of like a beauty blender, except I did not get this wet because it is a cream paint. It's supposed to dry to a powder, which I didn't feel like it was drying to a powder right away. I did decide to set this as well, but I set it with a white powder, which I will be showing you in just a moment. Make sure that you layer this white paint because it can seem quite sheer and the pores actually still show up. I wish I had something a little bit different, but honestly at the end it all worked out perfectly. The paint is quite opaque once you layer it, and yeah, it looks very, very good. Plus, this is a messed up clown, so it doesn't have to be perfection like a sugar skull or anything. Now using this red cream paint from this little stackable injury set that I got from Walmart, I was going to start filling in and coloring in all of the cotton and liquid latex. As you can see, the color is showing up still quite vibrantly, which is okay because now it just seems like a smeared, you know, mouth on a clown, which is kind of like what we're going for, except a little bit more gruesome, you know? So now I'm just making sure to add, you know, color on all the little crevices, although not everything got all filled up. It's okay because we're gonna be going in with some blood, you know, creepy clown blood. It all works out beautifully. But before I do that, I do want to add a little bit more depth using this purple shade from that same stackable kit. And I'm just adding the purple in different areas just so it looks a little bit more 3D, more dirty, you know, and this is what it ended up looking like. Using this Sugar Skull Quad, I'm using the white shade there with my powder brush, and I'm just going to start setting everything with that white powder. Next, using that same black body paint, I decided to draw some eyebrows, but I didn't feel like it was messy enough, so I decided to just color my whole eye area black. Something I suggest, which I didn't do, is add some black eyeliner in your waterline, or red. Red would be awesome to make it look a little bit more, you know, more clownish, really. Now adding a little bit more pink, I decided to just kind of contour in a way, but not really, you know, because that's not really a contour. It's just add a little bit of color and making it more clowny. And I decided that I didn't want a red nose, but I did want a skull looking type of nose. So that is what I did. I decided to be messy with the white paint and just smear it all over me, you know, nonchalantly, just like nasty. You know, messed up clown, very, very weird. Now using this theatrical makeup here, which is the gel blood, I'm going to be slathering that all over the mouth area, especially in the areas that are open. I would put a lot of blood. Something I would say is also added to the top part. I kind of only added it to the bottom, but later on I did add a tad bit on top. Not as much, but you know, it worked out. Then you can always smear that all over your neck and just make it look super nasty and on your hands. But if you're going to a party, don't put it on your hands, otherwise you're gonna get that stuff all over. I decided to add some brows, so just, you know, not perfectly, just added some lines on top. Now it's time for the hair process. I'm gonna go ahead and make it as messy as possible and just, you know, tease it just a bit just to add a little bit of a volume here. Then adding a little bit of a clown costume. I didn't add a nose, but I put on that little tie, and I thought it worked out perfectly. Since I'm not wearing a wig, I decided to use color spray paint that is for hair and it washes out. I did some yellow, some blue, you know, I just decided to pick up colors that usually a clown wig would have, and I just put them in different areas of my hair. I really liked how this turned out, and that green is so on point. It also makes it look a little bit more jokery, you know, like the clown, Joker, Batman. I love Batman. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and smear that blood all over my hands, and there we go. Creepy, nasty, deadly clown. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget that you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. That all is at ExquisiteGlow. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and happy Halloween. Bye, guys. Mwah.